Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out QNT's chart and see what is going on in the short term. And I know we have gone down a bit, but I'm going to tell you why I think now it might be time to be a bit more optimistic than before. Now, before we get into all that good stuff, we are going to start today's update by talking about this very important article about tokenized deposit, which was published on QNT's website. And guess what? Actually, the man himself, Gilbert Verdian, wrote this article. So I think it is very much important to pay attention to these things, and I would actually highly suggest to give it a read yourself. Now, in case you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. We are going to completely cover this article and talk about tokenized deposits, what they are, why are they so bullish for the whole crypto market, and also what is going to be QNT's role in all this. So are you ready? Let's dive in and see what is going on. And naturally, the first question is going to be, what are even tokenized deposits? You see, tokenized deposits are just regular bank deposits, but digitized and issued on a blockchain. And it's very important to understand this one. You see, tokenized deposits are not stable coins, they are not CBDCs, they are actually backed one by one by actual money sitting in the insured bank accounts. And the difference is that now they live on chain. So instead of waiting 2 days for a wire transfer to clear, you get instant settlements. Instead of banking hours, you get 24/7 access. And instead of manual reconciliation, you get smart contracts doing the heavy lifting. This isn't about replacing banks. It's very important to know that. This is about upgrading the rails that they already use. Also, you should know that tokenized deposits keep the regulatory protection people expect, including, for example, deposit insurance, compliance checks, and audit trails, so on and so forth. But at the same time, they are able to add the speed and automation of the blockchain. Now, for institutions, this is a huge game changer, because TradFi, payroll, treasury ops, intra-bank settlements, all of these things get much faster with the help of tokenized deposits. They get cheaper and also much more programmable. And what used to take, let's say, a couple of days can now take literally minutes, and banks do not need to reinvent the whole wheel in this scenario. Okay, this is really the key point. They just plug into a blockchain layer that mirrors what they already do. Now, here's a question. Why is it that tokenized deposits actually matter for the crypto market? You see, tokenized deposits aren't just banking upgrade. No, they are a gateway for traditional finance to step into blockchain space without ripping out their entire infrastructure. And banks do not need to launch a stablecoin or wait for a central bank digital currency. We are talking about CBDCs in here. They can issue tokenized versions of money they already hold. And that is like a much easier way to start using blockchain for real operations, including, for example, settlements, treasury, trade finance, without changing how they manage risk or compliance. And this, in my view, opens up use cases that go way beyond speculation. You got, for example, automated payroll systems, instant letters for credits, dynamic cash management. All of these things are able to run on chain with real-time tracking and programmable logic. And that is the kind of utility the crypto market has been promising, and tokenized deposits actually deliver those. And this is not about picking one format over the other. We are not talking about those subjects. These deposits do not even replace CBDCs or stablecoins. They sit alongside them, and that creates a multi-layer system where different types of digital money serve different roles, and more liquidity, more interoperability, and more demand for infrastructure that can handle it all. And that is where crypto benefits from this. You see, as more liquidity gets into this space, we are going to have overall more and more use cases and more innovative ways to leverage blockchain's power, which is going to all lead to much bigger of a market than we already are. So now that tokenized deposits are gaining traction, let's talk a little bit about who is actually going to build the rails to make it work. And that, in my view, is where QNT comes in clutch. You see, banks do not want to rebuild their entire tech stack just to issue tokenized deposits. No, they need something that connects their legacy systems to blockchain networks without really breaking every single thing. And that is literally the definition of Quant's Overledger. Because Overledger, let's be honest, is a universal API layer at its core that lets banks plug into multiple blockchains and move data across them without writing custom code for each and every single one of them. And here is the part that matters for QNT holders. You see, every single time that a bank is going to use Overledger, whether it's, for example, going to be in order to mint a tokenized deposit, or maybe settle a transaction, or even run a smart contract, they are going to need QNT token. And this is not optional. It's very, very important to know that. This is literally built into the system as an access token and fee mechanism. So as tokenized deposit scale, I think QNT usage is absolutely going to scale with them big time. On top of that, Quant isn't just simply a tech provider in here. You see, Gilbert Verdian is also involved in ISO TC307, which means Quant is helping shape the standards that banks and regulators are using to build these things. That gives Quant a seat at the table when decisions are made, and it will probably make it the go-to option when banks want compliant infrastructure. So what's the takeaway after all this? You see, it seems like that tokenized deposits are rolling out, and they are rolling out really, really fast. And banks, I promise you, they are going to need interoperability. And on the other hand, regulators are going to want standards. And Quant seems like that it is checking all of those boxes. And if adoption continues, and it is at least for now looking like that it will actually continue, okay, I think QNT in this scenario becomes one of the few tokens with real utility tied to institutional use. And have a guess what that will ultimately lead to. Yup, you're probably right. It will, in my view, lead to, in the mid to long term, to massive price appreciation. So this, my friends, is one very important reason for why am I so optimistic in QNT. And if you disagree with me, you know what? That's absolutely fine. I 100% respect your opinion. I just have one question for you. What is it that banks should do in order for them to be able to benefit from all the good things that blockchain space has to offer? Answer me all those, and then tell me whether that is going to be the definition of Quant's Overledger or not. And if not, then okay, please come back to the comment section and tell me what are your thoughts. We are going to have a good talk. As long as I'm not proven otherwise, I'm going to be quite bullish on QNT in terms of fundamentals. And the question is, what is going on in terms of technical analysis in the mid to long term? Okay, here we are. And if you remember the last time that we talked about QNT, I think we were around these highs, and I was saying, look, I am sort of kind of disappointed because so far we are having from the lowest low down here a rather slow and choppy move up, suggesting odds are this move down is going to continue. And what do you know, we did get pretty much what we expected in the last update. Now, here's a very important point. In my view, we are at a level where right now it's probably going to be time to start bottom hunting and flip bullish. Why? Because I have a couple of reasons for it actually. Number one, you see, let's go around here. Whenever you are having a couple of highs or lows quite close together, in this case, let's talk about highs, right around them, some people are going to open some short positions in hope that we get a continuation of the move down. And if you're going to have, for example, a rather drawn out classic picture perfect downturn like this, okay, I promise you, a lot of traders are going to open short positions around the highs, and most of them will end up putting their stops under the highs right in here. So as a result, you are going to have quite a good bit of liquidity around the highs. Now, unfortunately, the price has a tendency to absolutely destroy those people. And I'm not here to tell you this is like 100% of the time going to work. Absolutely not. There are some times that the price will go the way that they expect, but in most cases, that is simply not the case. And you are actually going to see a very strong move up in order to hit all those people's stop losses. And if we get a rather sharp move up, this is going to be called a beautiful short squeeze process. Now, let's go on the live chart. Okay, so how many highs do we have in here quite close together? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 highs are very close together in here. And as you can see, we do have kind of a beautiful looking wedge structure in this area. So I'm gonna say at one point, probably not that far from the current point in QNT, we are most likely going to get a very strong move up in order to gather all the liquidity and probably go much higher. So this, my friends, is one very important reason for why I am slowly but surely starting to flip bullish and be quite optimistic in QNT. Now, I also said earlier what is going on in terms of midterm structures, and in that area, I guarantee that you do not have anything to be worried about. Let's put our chart on logarithmic. Okay, and as you can see, it has been almost 4-5 years where we have been stuck in this beautiful ranging pattern, and on one hand, you are having constantly lower highs, on the other you are having higher lows in here, meaning the price is just getting compressed more and more. And in my view, there's like a very high chance that this is going to be from the highs and A, B, C, D, E, a triangle to about this point. And what is going on right now? I believe this is from the lowest low down here around $55, a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, followed by that odds are from here and not the highest high, we are having an A, B, C. Let's hope that it's going to be a running flat, and I do think it is going to be a running flat into this larger degree wave 2. And what's next? Absolutely fantastic move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. And the reason for why I believe this is going to be a big move is because in terms of Elliott's waves, wave 3 is known to be quite a strong and sharp move on the upside. So in essence, when it comes to midterm structures, I am very much comfortable being bullish in QNT because there is simply no reason for me not to. Now, let's go on H4 time frame and see what is going on in terms of indicators. There we go. And this, my friends, is yet another reason to be absolutely optimistic. So what do we have in here? This is a low, the other ones are lows. On the other hand, in MACD, we are having a low, the other ones are high lows. You can even say this is a low and the other ones are high lows. Doesn't really matter a whole lot. The point that I'm trying to make is this. In QNT, we are having a series of beautiful looking bullish divergences, and as long as we are not getting a break of this important divergence line, I think makes sense to be 100% optimistic. And what is going on in daily time frame? Okay, maybe this is going to be also a bit of a bullish divergence. I'll be honest with you, it's not really my favorite, but I'm thinking it is probably going to do the job. You see, this is a low, the other one is a lower low, but in here, what do we have? This is a low, and yep, by like a very small margin, the other one is going to be higher low. But may I suggest, just be a bit patient and wait for a confirmed buy signal in daily time frame, and at that point, you might be able to be bullish in QNT with a bit more confidence and call from the current point a decent move on the upside. And finally, let's go and check out indicators on weekly time frame. Okay, so this is definitely not good because now we are having a confirmed sell signal, which suggests maybe we are going to get a move on the downside, and that is where getting help from a stock RSI can be useful. And where is it? There we go. So okay, this is a bit of a different story because sure, we do have also in here a sell signal. However, pay attention, we are somewhere around the oversold region, meaning what? Bears are running out of power, and having divergences in H4 and daily time frame also supports the thesis. So I'm going to argue, just be a bit patient and see a buy signal in a stock RSI, and at that point you can expect probably after a couple of weeks having also a buy signal in MACD in order to start yet another beautiful phase of the bull run. So in the mid to long term, we do have some more optimistic signs as opposed to pessimistic ones, and in the short term, I promise you the price is just getting compressed more and more, and there will be a point hopefully quite soon where we are just going to get a massive breakout and you are going to be very much happy. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Quant's price chart. Anyway, If you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.